Have you ever wondered what happens when four franchises reach their breaking point at exactly the same moment? Picture this. Desperation meeting opportunity in the most spectacular collision the NBA has ever witnessed. We're not talking about your typical star for pick swap or salary dump disguised as team building. No, this is about four teams so frustrated with their current trajectories that they're willing to blow everything up simultaneously, creating a trade earthquake that would make the Anthony Davis deal look like a minor tremor. Welcome to the madness that is brewing in NBA front offices right now, where Milwaukee's championship window is crumbling, Golden State's dynasty is gasping for air, the Lakers are stuck in mediocrity purgatory, and Dallas is trying to maximize their superstars' prime. The result? Trade scenarios so audacious they border on fantasy, yet so logical they might just become reality. When champions become prisoners of their own success, let's start with the most heartbreaking story in this saga. Giannis Antetokounmpo's wasted prime in Milwaukee. This isn't just about basketball disappointment. It's about watching greatness suffocate in real time. 3 consecutive first-round exits. 3 years of the Greek freak putting up video game numbers. 30.4 points, 11.9 rebounds, 6.5 assists on absurd 60.1% shooting. Only to watch his supporting cast crumble when the lights get brightest. The Bucks haven't advanced past the second round since their 2021 championship, and that title feels less like a foundation and more like a beautiful accident. At 30 years old, Giannis is still operating at an MVP level, but time waits for no one. Every failed playoff run is another year stolen from what should be a Hall of Fame legacy. The whispers in Milwaukee aren't just getting louder, they're becoming screams. And when ESPN's Zach Cram starts floating 4-team blockbuster scenarios, you know those whispers have reached the right ears. The Golden State gamble. All chips on the table enter the Warriors. A franchise caught between their glorious past and an uncertain future. They've got Stephen Curry performing miracles at 36, Jimmy Butler adding veteran savvy, and a collection of young talent that looks promising but unproven. The question haunting Chase Center isn't whether they can compete. It's whether they can win another championship before Curry's magic finally fades. The proposed trade would send the Warriors' entire future to Milwaukee in exchange for Giannis, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, Tracy Jackson-Davis, plus multiple first-round picks and swaps. It's the ultimate mortgage your future for glory move, creating a potential big three of Curry, Giannis, and Butler that would be absolutely terrifying. But here's what makes this scenario so compelling. The Warriors have already proven they can win with less. Adding a player of Giannis's caliber to their system wouldn't just make them better. It would make them nearly unstoppable. The basketball fit is almost too perfect. Curry's spacing creating driving lanes for Giannis, Butler's defense complementing the Greek freak's rim protection, and all 3 players capable of creating their own shot in crunch time. The Lakers' smart secondary move, while everyone focuses on the Giannis to Golden State headline, the Lakers will be making perhaps the shrewdest move in this entire scenario. By trading Austin Reeves for Draymond Green and Daniel Gafford, they'd be addressing their 2 biggest weaknesses without sacrificing their core identity. Green brings championship DNA and the kind of defensive intensity that has been missing from Lakers basketball. His basketball IQ and leadership would complement LeBron James perfectly, while his versatility would solve numerous lineup problems. Gafford, meanwhile, gives him a legitimate rim runner who's already proven he can thrive alongside elite playmakers. Yes, losing Reeves stings. He's become a fan favorite and clutch performer. But sometimes you have to sacrifice the good for the great, and this Lakers team desperately needs defensive identity more than another offensive weapon. The Kuminga conundrum. Potential versus reality. Speaking of sacrificing the good, let's talk about Jonathan Kuminga's roller coaster journey. 2 seasons ago, he looked like the future of Warriors basketball. 16.1 points per game on elite shooting, 46 starts, career best numbers across the board. Fast forward to this past season, and he's dealing with injuries, reduced minutes, and even playoff benchings. The fall from grace has been swift and brutal. Career low games played, 47. Worst shooting percentages, .454 from the field, .305 from 3, and a demotion that saw him start just 10 games. For a player who once looked destined for stardom, the regression has been jarring. But here's where the Chicago Bulls connection becomes fascinating. Multiple reports have linked Kuminga to the Windy City, and it makes perfect sense. Chicago represents a fresh start, reduced pressure, and the opportunity to rebuild his confidence away from championship expectations. The Ball Health gamble, the proposed three-team deal involving Lonzo Ball, adds another layer of intrigue to this complex web. Ball's talent has never been in question. Elite defense, unselfish playmaking, catch-and-shoot reliability. The problem has always been availability. Missing entire seasons due to knee issues, sitting out over 1,000 days between NBA appearances, and managing chronic injuries throughout his career make Ball one of the biggest question marks in any trade scenario. But when he finally returned this past season, 35 games, 7.6 points, 3.4 rebounds, 3.3 assists, he showed he can still contribute at a high level. For a Warriors team potentially going all in on winning now, Ball's upside might be worth the injury risk. His defensive instincts and basketball IQ would complement their star-heavy lineup perfectly, assuming he can stay healthy. The salary cap chess match here is where these fantasy scenarios meet harsh reality. The salary cap mathematics are absolutely brutal. Moving players making $30+ million requires intricate maneuvering, especially with the new CBA's luxury tax penalties becoming increasingly punitive. The four-team structure isn't just for show, it's necessity. Dallas taking on Gabe Vincent and picks helps balance the numbers while addressing their need for point guard depth behind Kyrie Irving. The Lakers' involvement allows them to upgrade their front court while helping facilitate the larger move. Every piece serves a purpose in this elaborate financial puzzle. The championship window reality, let's be brutally honest about what these trades represent. For franchises acknowledging their current paths aren't working, Milwaukee admitting they can't build around Giannis, Golden State recognizing their young talent might not develop fast enough to help Curry, the Lakers accepting they need defensive help more than offensive firepower, Dallas understanding they need to maximize Luka's prime years. These aren't feel-good trades about building culture or developing talent. These are championship or bust moves by organizations that understand their windows are either closing or completely shut. The domino effect, if even one of these blockbuster moves happens, it would trigger a league-wide arms race. The Celtics would feel pressure to make their own moves. The Nuggets might need to respond. The Suns would be forced to evaluate their own championship timeline. We're potentially looking at a complete reshuffling of the Western Conference hierarchy, where traditional powerhouses could find themselves leapfrogged by teams willing to make bolder moves. The human element lost in all the trade machine calculations and salary cap gymnastics are the human stories. Giannis potentially leaving the only NBA city he's ever known. Kuminga having to rebuild his career in a new environment. Ball trying to prove his body can hold up for a championship run. These aren't just assets being moved around. They're careers being altered, legacies being rewritten, and dreams being either fulfilled or shattered based on front office decisions made in boardrooms thousands of miles away. The bottom line, whether these specific trades happen or not, the underlying tensions they represent are absolutely real. The NBA has entered an era where superstar movement happens faster and more frequently than ever before. Loyalty is secondary to championships, and patience is a luxury few franchises can afford. These seemingly impossible scenarios might sound far-fetched today, but they could look prophetic by the time training camps open. The question isn't whether blockbuster moves are coming. It's which desperate franchise will pull the trigger first. The dominoes are positioned, the pressure is building, and the NBA's next seismic shift might be just one phone call away. In a league where anything can happen, these impossible trades are starting to feel inevitable. Which of these wild scenarios do you think has the best shot at actually happening? Are you team mortgage the future for Giannis, or would you rather see these young players develop naturally? I'm genuinely curious about your take, because these situations change so fast, and your perspective always adds something I hadn't considered. Drop your thoughts below and hit that like button if you want to see more of these deep dives into the NBA's craziest possibilities.